In this tutorial, I'm going to show you one way that we could draw a PayPal logo to use as an icon. There are many ways we could do this, and this is just one of the ways that's possible. I'm going to start by just showing what that looks like. Here is the PayPal icon here, and you can see it's got a sloped line. It's a P on top of a P with a bit of an intersecting colour. So one of the first things I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take the eyedropper tool and switch into measure, because I want to know what this slope is here. I'm going to click at the bottom of the P, pull up along the line, and you can see it's about 79 point odd, so probably about 80 degrees, so a 10-degree slope effectively from the top down. So I'll get rid of that now, and I'm actually going to hide the logos as well. Create a new layer for me to draw on. So to make my PayPal logo, I'm going to start off with a rectangle tool, and that's the upright of the letter P. I've got it filled with blue at the moment, which is fine. I'm then going to take a rounded rectangle. So the rounded rectangle is going to intersect with this shape here, and it's going to form a P shape. So I'm going to take it out to about there, and what I want to do is to move this along until this anchor here matches up to the edge of the P. So I'm going to actually use the arrow keys here to nudge that along. And we can see now that this anchor is intersecting there. So that's fine. And what I'm then going to do is to use Pathfinder. So I'm going to go to Window, Pathfinder, and that allows me to have tools for joining together simple shapes. I'm going to highlight both shapes and use Unite, and that gives me my P shape. Now I could use a rectangle and try and chop off the angle here, but actually there's a much cleverer way to do this. So I'll just show one way that I could do it would be stick a big rectangle down, rotate that by about 10 degrees, so we can see that it's telling me about there-ish, 9, 10, and then I could move this over and use that to slice through. But what I'm going to do instead is to use the transform tools. So I'm going to highlight this shape, go to Object, Transform, and Shear. And what shear does is it moves something by an angle in one direction only. So if I give it the 10 degrees that we said, you can see here if I was doing it vertically, it would shear the top and bottom. If I do it horizontally, it's shearing it to left and right. And that's given us the P shape that we're looking for. So I'm going to click OK there. And I'm going to take a copy of this. So to get a copy, the easiest way is to hold the Alt key down and drag my other copy to here. I'm going to make sure that they are lining up on beside each other. A tiny little bit of an overlap there. And then what I'm going to do is to highlight both of these and use the divide tool. And what the divide tool will do is it will take each separate overlapping area and split it into its own shape. Now, having done that, if I click this here and move, the whole thing is still joined together. But what I can do is I can double click on this to go into isolation mode. And you can see here I'm now dealing with this group rather than with layer 2. And what I can then do is pick this section of the shape and make that a pale blue. Take this section of the shape and make it a very dark blue, and then leave the other one as the standard blue. And I don't think I've quite got the proportions right on the sender here, but that is approximately what we get for a PayPal logo.